Okay, so I tried this a while back and I started to shoot a video and drastically realized I did not know what I was doing when I was trying to take things apart. So after contacting the manufacturer and a few local companies, nobody would touch it, or 4 or 5 weeks out, and they didn't sound too enthused, and called Camping World and they said, I don't think we have anybody that does propane. I don't know. I said, can you check? Oh, well, hold on if I have to. Made me feel really good about that. Anyway, so after playing with it, manufacturer told me I had to take off from the hose up here. Take the hose off the T-fitting underneath the vehicle, and then I'll take the hose and just spin it backwards when I take this cover off where the regulator is, and then I should be able to get the regulator off from this fitting over here. So I am going to do that, and I don't know if I can record while I'm doing that. If I do, you won't see anything because I'm holding the phone with my hand. So I'm just going to pause it and then I'll come back. But I got to take these bolts off right here and right here, and then that top cover will come off, so I can then spin the regulator off of this compression fitting right here. Here we go. So next, where am I? I got to take this little fitting off. It is windy as all get up out here. Tomorrow it's going to be raining and it's going to be around like 25 degrees, so I'm doing this as fast as I can. I'm going to take that one nut off right here. And I'll take that off, then I can get this hose out. So I don't quite think the hose will clear otherwise, and that'll be easy just taking that off. So I'm going to take that off, and then I am just going to spin. You can see the whole regulator is already loose. I've broken the nut loose. It's going to spin it off, and once I get it off, then I'll put it all back together and play with it out there and see exactly what I got to do to get it back in. So anyway, that's my next step. Okay, now just spin the regulator off. Can't do that with one hand, so I'm going to pause it and come back. Okay, so I don't remember where I left off. Anyway, I got the fitting off. Got to put it on there. It's a pipe thread compression fitting. So I'm pretty sure I don't need any of this stuff, but I'm still going to put a little bit on just because it can't hurt. I'm not going to put it into the threads. I'm going to put it on the outside of the threads, obviously. And then definitely on that side, because that side has to go in there. And then I scrubbed off all the old remnants of the tape because it had tape on it originally. Got it all off, got it all clean. Now I just got to get up inside here and get this hose back on. Got my leak sealant tester when I'm ready, right there. I didn't need that much, but that's the smallest one they had. It was only $3. Could have used soap and water, but yeah. So anyway, here's all my pieces. I'm gonna change this out here in just a minute. I'm gonna grab a rag because I'm gonna get goo on my fingers, and I just want goo on my fingers. So here we go. I'm gonna pause it again. Okay, breathing a little hard. Anyway, I put some of this on. I put it on both sides of the male threads like the instructions say. I put that on first. I put this piece on, screwed it till it got tight. Put the other compression fitting on, screwed it till it got tight. And then I put the regulator on, screwed it, and it turned perfect. Right to the exact angle I need as it started getting tight. One turn before that, it started getting snug. And then this revolution, it got like beautiful. Love it. So I know I got my exact angle. The rest is going to be a piece of cake, because all I got to do is get my hose. It's down over there. Get her on, him on, wherever we want. And get him all fixed back up inside there. A little bit of thread piece up there. And life is going good. And then at that point, I'll probably turn on the thing, spray some foam, flip on the electronic valve. As long as nothing blows up, I'll be pretty good to go, looks like. And even though this shows different than what it shows up top, which I thought's kind of odd, but yeah. Anyway, so it's going good. It is a pain because you got to get underneath the vehicle to do it. I should have probably put some 4x4s or 2x4s or something underneath the tires to raise it up a few inches, but take more time, and weather is not my friend today time-wise. So anyway, I don't know if this is even going to fix any of my problems. However, it is the first best place to start because that was the original propane regulator. Anyway, I'll come back once I get it all back together. Alrighty, so got a little cocky earlier. I should have threaded this in here first. The threads on the new valve were not super smooth. They weren't, I had a problem getting it in. So I took the whole thing back apart, got that in first, used a clamp vise to hold this so I could get this on all the way to make sure it's properly snug. So now I'm going to put this back on. I may put some more threading stuff back on there since I undid it once. So keep on going. I got my hose on and go from here. Okay, so I got everything back together. That's all tight. And that time when it tightened up pretty quick right to that same spot and didn't turn anymore. So we'll see. Next time I should put the hose on, or I should thread the hose first to make sure it fits. Had I known that valve had a crappy thread on the end, I probably would have gotten another one. I just don't have a tap that big to tap it. Anyway, it's all up inside there. It's all tight. Lines ran right. I'll probably put a zip tie because this is my drive shaft right here. And the line was not really that close, but close enough to where my brain says put a zip tie on just to make sure it never moves. Anyway, I'm going to put some leak detector on here, and then I'm going to open this gas valve right here, and then I'm going to turn on the electronic valve, and hopefully I get no leaks. So here we go. Okay, well, I sprayed it everywhere. It's funny because this says bubbles will form if there's leaks within 5 seconds. What's funny is when I spray it, it bubbles automatically. So, but I don't see any like bubbles that I think I'd be looking for. So I don't see anything there. And I'm getting shocked constantly, which freaks me out on top of it just because it's so dry and so staticky. Every time I touch the drive shaft, I get shocked. Sprayed it all over there. There's no bubbles. Sprayed it all over on that side. I don't see any bubbles there either. So, I'm assuming it's good. So, I think I'll go up and I will turn on, it's right there, it says I got like 3/4 of a tank. Third of a tank. Anyway, so I'm going to go up and I'm going to see what I get up here. I'm going to try to light something, see if it works. I'm positive I'll crawl out. Well, no explosion yet. Turn on my burners. Got my vents open. I'm going to let that run for a little bit. And then I'm going to try turning on a few other gas appliances. And maybe the generator will even start. Generator's been funky. It'll start, but it's not starting the way I'd like it to start. I have to remove a cover down below in order to get it to run, so not quite sure what's going on with that. I can get it to start, but I can't do it from inside. So, but maybe that regulator was questionable. Everything started happening after I got gas. New propane from when I bought it from the person before. So that's what my thought is. Anyway, I'm going to pause this and keep turning things on until I blow up or things work. Here we go. So next, the heater. I clicked it on. Got the door open. Yeah, because up here, as you can see when I press P, it shows I got 2/3 of a tank, where down below I only have 1/3 of a tank. So obviously there's a sensor, unless it's the voltage difference and the voltage is too high and the sensor is reading that, but I'm not all that concerned about it. I don't use the propane like day in, day out. If I ever do, then I'll worry about it. But let's see, I think the heater's clicked on. So if that clicks on, then I may next try the fridge, which stopped working on propane recently on a trip. So I'm going to pause it again. Alright, so kind of crazy. This isn't working yet, but I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the flame. It's pretty dirty out there, so I may need a little love. My generator actually started. It took it a while, you know. I bled it, and all of a sudden it started with the button inside, which it has not. Pretty excited about that. So I'm going to let it run for quite a while, actually, just because it hasn't ran since October when we were in Florida. Anyway, things are looking kind of kind of better. So if I can get this little guy here to do something, that would be like awesome. Anyway, still working on things. I'll be back. Here's what's kind of crazy. My little light's flashing, which tells me the gas is not going if I read my manual right. However, when I come out, burner's on inside there. Oh, yeah, the burner's on, the flame's going. So I'm just not getting a signal that it's back. I don't know, I need to read the manual a little bit more. Because it's going. So I'm not quite sure what's up with that. I need to read a little bit more. Unless it's just a sensor feedback that it thinks it's not going, which would be that little, I'm assuming that, no, that's a ground wire. That's the igniter, that's that. It thinks it's all going, so. Unless that's when it gets the temperature. I don't know, I have to read the instructions, but either way it goes, I'm pretty excited that the generator's running. Yeah, I got heat coming out the top. Not super hot yet, but I can feel it. So, I'm gonna let that generator run for a little while. I don't really want to crawl under there. I could crawl back under there and put everything back together. Alright, so anyway, let the generator run for quite a while. You can see the hours there. Shut it off. Didn't want to start right back up, but it did eventually start up. Had to push it a few times. So whatever was going on, I think is still there, unfortunately. That's all good. Anyway, changed out my regulator, and I'll work with the other issues, whatever they are, going forward. But anyway, take care.